Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick review here of the Citadel Technical Paint Imperial Primer. I had some spot work to do. This is the knob I'm refurbishing for my Evil Sun's shooter boys. And if you watch the video, I replaced the arms with plastic. I replaced the old metal arms with pinned plastic ones this time. And I didn't prime them up or spray them before mounting them, because they are pinned and it probably wouldn't have worked out very well. But so I needed a way to get some primer on these things. You just don't want to put paint over bare plastic. It just doesn't work out very well. Also some other areas in the model where I had to clean up some mold lines. So I picked this up tonight and I thought I'd give it a try. Now this isn't the first time I've used brush-on primer. I used up a whole bottle of Vallejo white brush-on primer. I use that a lot, and I definitely had mixed results with that. Sometimes it had a real problem of pulling away, kind of like not sticking to the surface it was brushed onto. And when this stuff first came out, I saw some other videos people did, and it was pretty. I had similar results to what I had with the Vallejo brush-on primer. But tonight I had a really good experience with this, getting this on. So this is basically a tester. There's actually 2 coats on here, and it's really on there. It doesn't rub off. It's on there pretty good. So let's see what you get. So this stuff is really thin, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to see that it doesn't. It's pretty much where you put it. It doesn't like bunch up. It doesn't really give you a full coat. Of course, I said it's really thin, so that's why I did the second coat on some of these areas. But you can just kind of glob it on and push it around to fill in all the spots. That it's not bunching up, it's not pulling away from the edges or anything like that. It's actually adhering to the plastic really well, which is I was almost kind of surprised at it because of the way that other Vallejo primer that I used before did. Because it was too thick, of course it would obscure the details, and it was too thin, it just wouldn't stick to anything. But here, this stuff is actually working incredibly well. I mean, you can see through the primer. It's not completely covering it, which may, of course the hard part is getting it down to the details here sometimes, which may or may not be a big deal. You might be able to get away with, you know, just putting on the one coat. As long as the paint has something to adhere to other than just bare plastic, you should be good. But if you want the black for the filling in the some other bare metal here, I need to cover it. You want the black to cover for like sit in the gaps and the shadows and everything. So you need the full primer job. Where's the spelling list? So yeah, I mean it's giving really good coverage, and it dried really smooth here on the Power Fist. Pretty much as good as any spray primer I've used. It doesn't seem to, it didn't block any of the details even with both coats, and said you don't even have to run 2 coats on this. I mean, because that's, even though you can see some of the plastic through it, I mean that's more than enough surface for the paint to bond into, and it's really thin. It doesn't obscure any details. Overall, I'm incredibly impressed with this product. It does everything it's supposed to do, and it definitely works better than the Vallejo brush-on primer that I used to have. So wow, yeah, this is really good. I give this thing 4 WAs out of 5 because it's still kind of spendy, but it was definitely one of the better products I've used in a long time. Actually did everything I expected it to. It worked perfectly, and very impressive. So that's it for this quick review, and I'll talk to you guys later.